I compared the cheapest land listings across the Upper Peninsula, and there's a very clear shift that happens right around 30,000. Below that price, something is always missing: access, clarity, or buildability. Above it, things start getting more predictable. Let me show you what I mean. Here's 21,000 for 10 acres. Sounds great until you get into the details. Association risk plus the ravine and the creek. Cheap, yes. Simple, not really. Here's 26,900 for 10 acres. Utilities are nearby and it looks decent. But this is where I'd slow down and verify the ground conditions, because this one could have wet areas. Seller financing is offered also, which is uncommon, but it doesn't change what the land is. Here's 29,000 for 10 acres. Power and fiber internet are mentioned, but there's no legal access, no easement. This single detail can completely change the value. Here's 40 acres for 30,000. That's only $750 an acre, but no roads, no easements, and mineral rights don't convey. Cheap per acre usually means complicated. Under 30,000, you're not getting a deal, you're accepting a trade-off. In this range, sellers are trying to get rid of land that has issues, right? So they are below market value because maybe they have no legal access. Half of it is a swamp. There's no easement. Maybe it's landlocked. The zoning is too strict to use. Maybe you cannot put a cabin on the site. Maybe it has to be zoned to Michigan building code. Or there could also be things you don't even notice. This is commonly why land is cheap. Now watch what happens. 35,000 for 10 acres. Nothing dramatic, nothing strange, just land that looks functional. And the main thing I'd watch for this one is close neighbors, just because it sits between two roads. 36,000 for 40 acres. Great per acre price again, but seasonal access. And this is another one where we'd want to verify if it's wet. More land can still mean more compromise. 38,500 for 19 acres, unmarked road. Not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's something you'd want to confirm before you assume easy access. Notice as the prices go up, the red flags are getting smaller. 42,500 for 12 acres. Frontage on two roads and a survey on file. Now that's the kind of detail that makes a property feel more defined. Another at 42,500 for 10 acres. This looks like it might be residential, so it's usable, but within limits. 44,900 for 10 acres. There's a camper with this one and a cleared building site, but I'd still verify wetlands and zoning because those are two things that can change what you can actually do with the land. Now here's where the tone shifts. Once you cross 50,000, you're not really paying for acreage anymore. You're paying for certainty. Certainty that there's legal access, utilities are nearby, zoning is defined, and you're not discovering surprises later. That's what changes at this level. 52,500 for 26 acres. On M28, electric available and listed as residential zoning. This is where you start paying for predictability. 56,000 for 40 acres. There's a legal easement, but here's the part I don't love. The directions say to walk in through CFA land, which makes me wonder if the easement isn't actually cleared or usable right now. So even at this price, access still needs to be verified in the real world. 59,000 for 33 acres, corner lot. Utilities are not available, but otherwise this one looks relatively straightforward. 64,500 for 10 acres. Utilities are available, and it looks like it's part of a subdivision. This is infrastructure pricing. And then we have 78,800 for 40 acres. A tributary runs through it, but about 31 acres are woody wetlands. That's roughly 3/4 of the property. So even at nearly 80,000, usable acreage matters more than total acreage. The biggest shift happens around 30 to 35,000. Below that, you're managing risk. Above that, you're buying clarity. So why does this happen? Why is there this distinction at 30,000? Below that number, sellers are pricing in problems. It might be no legal access, wet ground, easement issues, zoning limitations, or things you may not even notice. Above 35,000, sellers know the land is usable, so you're paying for certainty. That's the difference. And here's the important part. You can't even filter for these red flags. You have to read the listings, verify access, and check the maps. And it would be so much easier if we could filter for these. Things like legal access, easement clarity, wetlands, zoning. If all of that information was actually on the listings and reliable, that would be awesome, but it's not. So you have to do your due diligence. When we bought our land, we bought 100 acres in 2024. First thing I looked for was zoning areas. I knew what type of use we wanted with our land, and we required mostly the forestry, recreational type zoning. So I always looked for that first, and then I would check wetlands. I would then check for access and easements, then look at utilities because I did have requirement to have internet because I work from home. Then you can get into the details of what the property taxes are going to cost you, walking the land, making sure that the lifestyle of being where you are is good. How far is it to the gas station? How far is it to Dollar General to grab something that you ran out of the last minute? So remember, price alone doesn't tell the whole story. The details do. So make sure you pay attention and get out there and find your forest.